Fortunate enough to be able to publish this book. Well, actually, Foothills Publishing published it. I wrote it. Started writing it about 12 years before that, in 1997, and worked on it off and on all the way through until it was published. Thank you for signing for me, by the way. I appreciate that. It's called Split. And it's about my childhood and events that occurred to me after I left home. I left home at the age of 17 and went away from Rochester to a college in Missouri. It was a small women's college in a town that had a huge University of Missouri. It's called Columbia, Missouri is where it was actually. Anyway. What happened was that about 6 weeks after I finally got out of a home that had domestic violence and child abuse in it, I unfortunately was sexually assaulted by a group of men. And it changed my life, as I'm sure anyone who has been through that will know, and those of you who haven't, good for you. But it does change anyone's life. Becoming a survivor of that was the work of, probably 20 years afterward. So anyway, what I did, this is a work of witness about the childhood and how, and then getting out and how it changed my life. So I want to read 3 poems. One that starts with the actual event itself, talks about it, and then moves on to a couple of pieces about how mentally, psychologically, the victim person, the persona, felt about it after that. All right. First one is called Cut in Half. 5 men wanting it tricked and bitched and pulled me to a thin prison-striped mattress on old squeaking springs, saying, "This is not rape," even while it was, even while it hurt, even while eyes closed against the raw thrust of every stroke. I knew my life taken, broken, cut in half. And the girl who had grown up with fear again grew full of knowledge, recognizing the necessities of men. The next one's called Wheat Cup, and it actually is about a coffee cup that I had during that time in my room at the college. Wheat stalk etched on a coffee cup in corn country, sipping bouillon, salt rending the cut on my lip. Books spread like legs, stacked like walls on a blue rug bounding my safety. Tongue worrying my wounded lip, I trace over and over curving kernels on wheat's tightly budded head, cutting fresh chips in my nail. When you bring wheat cups to corn country, you sin. And this is about the worst of it, actually, believe it or not, which happened after the events that I'm talking about. It's called The Necessary Thing. Maybe it was the Boone's Farm, or the vodka. Sudden comfort? A tea tumbler of booze lighting my belly, safe among girlfriends that night, seemed the very thing, the very necessary thing, to put to flight all memories of men. Later, sicker than sin, I fought off a man who'd offered pity to a drunken girl. Car parked suddenly on a lonely road cut in ruts between 2 cornfields. Clothes torn, too terrified of pregnancy not to fight, even as the sky whirled outside the car. Escaping, stumbling in gravel and puke. Lamplight created a star across a field. Blurring, its points stretched the horizon, wrinkling the corn in the promised land. Thank you. I don't think it's not even, it doesn't take any intelligence at all to talk about how we need to change the plight of women in, not just in this country, but obviously abroad, where rape is used as a war, a tool of war to ruin cultures. And it's still being used today, obviously. Thank you for listening.
Apologize.